Hey, so family, happy first day of December. We are in a new month. We are getting ready to go into winter solstice. It is a new moon. As I was doing my spiritual practice, and I want to make sure that I'm very clear about what that means. I discovered some new information in regards to the truth. What my spiritual practice entails, it tells me sitting quietly on my yoga mat. I have my candles, I have my crystals, I have whatever. Sometimes I have flowers, whatever it is that I am being led to put into my aura or my space. And what I do is I meditate, I get really quiet, and I sit and listen to the Creator to speak to me and give me sneak previews of coming attractions. It's also my time to command and accept some things that I may need or want or desire in my life, whether that in many cases is truth, authenticity, alignment, and whatever else, clarity, whatever else that I need, more communication, signs, in order for me to walk on my journey in alignment with the Creator, with nature, so that my life can flow. These are things that I have learned throughout the years and being able to put everything that I've learned together. Now, the Christianity piece of it. My foundation is studying the life of Christ, right? But I was religious. And when I say that, that entailed going to church and reading scripture and then learning how to apply the scriptures in my life, which I later learned were universal laws that were put in the scripture, which I later learned the Bible is a governmental book. But nonetheless, I fell in love with the story of Yeshua. And I love Paul in the New Testament. Okay, I gotta say that. That's my guy. All right. So, as someone that is a fan of this Yeshua that I had been told about and that I had learned about from the Bible, because I don't have the distractions. I'm at an age now. I'm 54. I'm at an age where I'm not as easily distracted with materialism, money, trying to keep up with this and that, that I said, you know what, let me go a little bit deeper into my study. Now, there are people, obviously, who has done this way before me, all right? And I'm not going to say any names because religious people tend to think that you're trying to pattern or model yourself behind a certain person, which it has nothing to do with that. It's about literally speaking to the Creator of your soul, the manufacturer, the reason that you are here, and asking for truth and not fables, not fairy tales, not people's opinions, none of that. So in that, as I was sitting, actually right around the time that the new moon had heightened here in Costa Rica, it came to me, where was Yeshua doing between the age of 12 and 30? Now, that's a very important period of time. And I know that I've heard this in church before, that it's like hidden or whatever. I forget, I can't even remember what they used to say about those years, but nobody knows. Like, nobody knows who. Like a whole religion is based on a person that nobody knows what he was doing from the age of 12 to 30. So then I started to go deeper into it. I said, well, the reason that I feel like the Black community is suffering and there's so much sickness and disease and mental illness is because there's just so many lies that we've been told, in addition to, obviously, the trauma that has been in our bloodline, in our DNA from our ancestors, but just so many lies. And because of that, and not really knowing our identity, as well as just the abuse that we still suffer in the 2000s, right? It has led us to be not as powerful as we could be as a community. right? So I decided, let me go a little bit deeper into the study so that I can reveal some untruth so that we can start getting free from all of this bondage that's leading us from church to grave, right? I came upon a video where someone had done their homework and they started talking about these emerald tablets, these Sanskrits, these other writings that existed. And so then I thought, okay, so at the age of 12, which is right before your hormonal years, right around that time, to the age of 30, when Jesus came back to lead and to teach and to heal with all these miracles, he was somewhere learning, growing, practicing so that he could bring all this wisdom and knowledge back to his people at 30. So where was he? So I've read he went to Egypt, he went to Tibet, and it was one other place. I can't remember right now. But he was like studying in like India, you know what I mean, Egypt. So a lot of his teachings came from other countries. That would make sense based on the little bit of the story we've heard about how Yeshua would go and he would learn and he was so smart and he was in the temples and he was this and that. So it would make sense that a young man who was already so astute and already on top of things would go to and visit other countries and venture off and learn all this wisdom and then bring it back to his people when it was time. So then when the disciples were like so amazed at just like how powerful he was and how much wisdom he had and the miracles that he was doing, right? The teachings, so amazed by all of this because there was nobody that was doing this in the land, right? This, I mean, even from the beginning, this immaculate birth, right? It would seem like somebody would have said, well, man, where you been? Well, I mean, like, this is amazing. Where you learn all this stuff? But this authorized King James version of the Bible doesn't want to put that in there. The Council of Nicaea, Constantine or whomever, doesn't want to put the truth that he went to Africa, that he went to India, that he went to these different countries to learn what he needed to learn, to bring it back to his people. Why is that? Why is that? So, I'm sharing all this because, for one, I want to encourage you all. Do your own studying. Some of you are dealing with all of these distractions that have nothing to do with nothing, but it's causing your health to fail. Get to the truth. Some of you may not want to, you may be like, Dr. Tammy, I don't want to know the truth, but if you made it this far in my video, you want to know the truth. The only way you are going to know the truth is to get spiritually connected. Religion is there to get you started, but the purpose of it is not to be able to lead you into freedom. That is not the design of the church. It is to control you, but it is not to lead you to freedom. So you have to make the decision on what you want to do. Can you do both? Of course you can. But no one understands why you are where you are in your life. If you're leading a peaceful, wonderful, loving, beautiful life with your eyes closed, go for it. But do it for your kids. Don't keep putting them in places and having them to learn under people who are not good for them, who are liars, who are deceivers, who are whores. The very thing that we talk about in the Bible, we are placing our children under. Stop doing that. That's my piece for today. Let me know your thoughts. Pura Vida.